Hello everyone and welcome to TGP1 Season 43. Tonight we're here for rounds 1 and 2. It's Australia and Qatar. We're currently watching the previous champion of last season, ERT Casper, in the Ferrari. New livery for him in the Ferrari. He was in Mercedes last season with Lewis Craig. He's decided to join the Scuderia for Australia. We've got 7 minutes left to qualifying. Casper not set a lap time just yet. Him, Joviamani, New Zealand Cam and Matt Tibos all to set a lap time. It's currently Machine Ireland on pole position, a 16 flat, very impressive time for him. And it's Luca Giapelli up in second place with Wet Lemons, rounding out the top 3. Surprising that they're up there this early on in the session, but we're waiting to see what happens there as Giovinazzi crosses the line with a 16-2, kind of setting the order back to normal. Casper, it's not been a smooth lap, it's been quick but not too smooth. We'll see if he can challenge the front row, the grid of Roy and Shea, the all-Irish front row. As it stands, we'll go through the teams in the calendar as well in the next few moments as Casper now opens up his DRS in his first lap in the Ferrari, manages to put it on the front row of the grid. But yeah, it's just myself tonight. No Cameron. CJH is not going to be with us for the first few races, but we'll see him later on. We'll see if there's anyone else currently on a lap time. Is Chris on a lap? No, Chris is coming into the pits. Dan Morris, I think, might just be starting a lap. We'll watch him as he comes round turns 2 and 3 in the Aston Martin. It was an impressive season from Dan last time out. Teammates in the Haas with Matt Tibbles. They've gone their separate ways this season, but Dan Morris is going to do what he can for Aston Martin. It was Phil in the car last time. He's jumped ship to McLaren, but what can Dan Morris's first split time be? And he's up by 2.5 times per second, so it's looking pretty quick for the Aston so far through the first sector. We'll see what his split 2 time is going to be on board now through the new, well, it's not really the new part anymore, it's just the normal. It's the third of 4 DRS zones around here. It's tight through turns 11. Survive through turn 12 if you can, and it's beautiful from Dan Morris. He's running out of battery. Used it all in the early stages as Cam is the first driver into the 15s. Cam is a reserve this season as far as I'm aware. I believe he's filling in for Johners, who's not making the first week at Williams. But Cam doing Johners proud on provisional pole with just over 5 minutes. Is a big tank slapper for Dan Morris. He's coming around the final corner now. Saved a bit of the battery in that third sector. What will it be on the run up to the line? It is a top 7, so pretty impressive from Dan, who had very promising qualifying form last season as well. Court Gill is just coming out, or just set a lap. He's up in 8th. I think he's going to be the next man, or is it going to be Matt Tibbles? We'll see where Matt is. Matt is going quick through the final couple of corners now. He's moved. He was in Aston with Phil last season. He's in the Alpine this season. He's got a lot more battery than Dan Morris had. He'll run up to the line, get an extra bit of power in the Alpine package. It's only 17th, so not a very quick lap. And I believe, is that Aidan Griffin starting a lap? We'll go on board. He'll be our first on-board full lap of the season 43 season. Aidan nice and smooth through turn 1. Doesn't take any curve on the exit of the corner, just keeping it straight. P16, only 3 tenths behind Lewis. Aidan didn't really have a consistent season last season, missed races, filled in here or there, but he's here from the start this year, and we'll see what he can do in the beginning of 2025. Cam's called it a day. That as quick as he will go. Aidan improving just slightly though, not enough to challenge the likes of Lewis or Vivolo Merkel in 14th or 15th. Aidan going to be disappointed. Not much practice for the McLaren driver coming into this qualifying session, but we'll see if his talents of previous years and experience in his old head will manage to get him ahead of the former season 34 TGP2 champion Lewis Craig. That is his big challenge this season. Can he rival Lewis and see who can pick up the final couple of points in 13th and 14th? He's not had a great lap, Aidan, by his standards, but it should be enough to move him up at least a few places in the McLaren. Teammates with Phil, and Aidan's actually just going to call it a day and maybe go again. He should have enough time to go again, Aidan. And it is Court on a lap. He is losing the battery, so that does leave us to believe he's on a lap in the Mercedes. Court picked up a race win last season. It was the first time in 10 years, over 10 years, that Court won a Grand Prix. The Dutch driver now round the final corner. What will his pole time be? Will it be an improvement on 16.7? It looks like it will be. It's going to be a 16.3 and is up into the top 5 for Court. And I believe Casper, who did go P2, dropped him down to P3. He's next up out of everybody, or is Mr. Giapelli on a lap? Mr. Giapelli on a lap in P6, won a few races in the most recent season of TGP2 round Monaco. A memorable one as Court moves out the way, but we'll see what Luca can do. Finding pace the longer the game's been out and being able to race more and more experience than the guys in TGP1, but he's not improving at all, Luca, and that might be his session over. We'll see what Casper can do. He's the defending champion. He's got a Mercedes in the way ahead, but it moves out of the way, maybe costing him just a wee bit of time and lapse in concentration. He'll be late on the brakes, and it should be okay into turn 4. Casper, though, been playing a lot of Assetto Corsa, not really on Formula 1, but he's purple through Sector 1, so the practice has been paying off for the Finnish driver. The reigning champion won so many races, we forgot how many he actually did win. I can't. And Casper's front end absolutely gone away from him there, and that looks like his lap might not be enough for pole. Losing a tenth of a second there. We'll see. No, he's coming around a few corners, and it looks like this is over for Casper in this qualifying session. Yeah, Casper's calling it a day. He's not going to improve. The fastest he's going to be is P3. As you can hear, I'm absolutely choked with a cold and by myself, not helpful. But we'll see if we can make it through the night. We should be able to. Phil now. Coming through turn 12. Will he survive it? A wee bit of a moment, but manages to hang on to the car. Does Phil, the old Englishman, the veteran of TGP1, hangs on. He looks like he just went offline there and might have had a track limits warning, but he just manages to hold on and doesn't invalidate his lap. Maybe in the race it's going to cost him a warning, and he's almost into the wall there. Phil absolutely lost the front end, and that has cost him any chance of an improvement in qualifying. Lewis has gone up into P11, the Red Bull driver finally getting back in the Red Bull cockpit that he loves so much. Dom Smith down in 12, battling Lewis Craig. That's the old rivalry that we've had for 2 seasons now. Dom absolutely slammed the door shut on that rivalry last time out. Destroyed Lewis over the course of 20 races. He's looking to do so in qualifying here in Australia, and he just needs less than a tenth of a second to do so, but he's not finding any time at the moment, so Dom might be in danger of not finishing higher than 12th and finishing behind the Scotsman Lewis Craig, and that is not what he wants for the start of his season in a new team. Also, Dom obviously was in the Visa RB last season as Jovial Mani's gone into the top 2. He's 15.992, so that's a good lap from Roy. We'll see what Dom is going to do on the run up to the line. And he does improve, but not enough to gain any positions. I think Viva La Merco snuck in late there, gaining 5 tenths of a second into the top 10. And I think that might be it for everybody. Arthur's gone up into 13th with a 10th improvement. Matt Tibbles, is he going to improve and make a change to the timesheets? He does improve by a lot, but still in the 17s. Disappointing for Matt. So it's New Zealand Cam, the season 40 champion, on pole. So your qualifying order for round one of season 43, and is New Zealand Cam on pole position, and wow, 1/1000th of a second between him and Giovinazzi in second place. Machine Ireland and Casper take the second row. Dan Morris and Went Lem is impressive qualifying with 5th and 6th. Court Gill and Mr. Giapelli 7th and 8th. Viva La Miracle and Bavesser 9th and 10th. Phil and Lewis on the 6th row of the grid. They've had some great battles over the 2 seasons that they've raced each other. Arthur and Dom Smith round out the points paying positions in quali. Kai down in 15th, disappointing for him. Aidan in 16th. Matt and Chris round out the final places. Aidan Griffins and Speed Kai going to be disappointed with that result. Dom Smith going to be disappointed with that result as well. I believe it was 7th place in 100 points last season in season 42. That's the highest Dom's had in a very long time, and it's not getting off to a great start this season, but there's plenty of races to go. We've got 15 laps coming up our way, and it's looking like it's going to be some dry weather. And who's going to be quickest off the line? Giovinazzi, very quick at starts we've seen over previous games. Not so much on this game last season, but he is going to try and challenge New Zealand Cam into turn number 1. Cam obviously didn't have a great title defence last season, looking to come back, only a reserve for now, but if he picks up 2 wins tonight, he'll be putting a challenge for a full-time seat. And we're on the grid for the first time in season 43 in 2025. It's 5 red lights. And away we go for the new season of TGP1. Giovinazzi's had a great start, and he's side by side. He's already ahead of the Williams into turn number 1. It's Roy, leads from Cam, and Machine Ireland going to try challenge him as well into turn number 3. He's not quite got the run he wants, but is he going to make a late move down the inside of the Williams? Yes, he is. They're both on the hard compound tyre. For 20 laps they've gone the alternate strategy. Maybe that helped Roy get a quick getaway. Casper's dropped down into 4th. He's on the mediums as well. He needs to make use of the tyre advantage. Well, he's got it. Dan Morris got ahead of Wet Lemons. They're both battling for P5, and can these guys hang on to the leaders and try and challenge for a possible podium? Look how close Wet Lemons is to the back of Dan Morris. Maybe using a bit of the battery to try and get the move done into turn 10. A very dangerous place, but he thinks better of it, and he's stuck behind the Aston. And that car looking very squirrely in the dirty air at the moment. Machine Ireland 10th of a second behind New Zealand Cam, who's 6/10 back on Roy already. Giovinazzi now doing what he needs to do to try and win the Grand Prix. There's moves further back though, as Court's trying to make a move on Wet Lemons. Down the inside, Court goes, not got enough grip to make the move. There's battles further back. Viva La Miracle, Phil and Professor all over each other as they battle. Watch Luca ahead, holding on to P8 for now. It's a great quality for Luca, but it's going to be how long can I hang on to these places. And Casper is dropped down behind Dan Morris, and Wet Lemons is round. Casper, they're going to try retake the place, and Dan Morris doesn't fight that too much. Maybe Dan having a bit of an accident there. Yeah, Dan's got damage on that front wing and may need to stop. And oh, Casper's round. Casper's to the back of the field. Dan Morris already has a time penalty and is currently leading this gaggle train of cars. They're already 2.3 seconds back on the top 3 on the podium hunt with a time penalty as well. How long can Dan hold on? Because here comes Court, who's going to want a bit of the action of the podium if he can, and Court should get this move done. Luca wanting to look down the inside as well. Can Luca get the move done round the outside? What a move that is from Luca, and he's almost gone into the wall, and he's in danger now of losing that place to Viva La Miracle. Professor and Phil, they're going to be 4 wide. There's carbon fibre going everywhere as everybody's front wing seems to be falling apart because everyone's getting tangled up in the opening stages. Lewis Craig is disconnected. I believe that's his internet. Again, that cost him a chance at the TGP2 Championship, costing him here tonight in TGP1. Shouldn't be an issue though. He should be able to get back in as long as he's not in any danger. But look at New Zealand Cam, he's right on the back now. Those hards are up to 10, and the Williams is looking racy. Car number 5 going to try and make a move. No, he's just looking, and look how close Machine Ireland got to the back there of the Williams ahead. and the guys just need to settle down now. The opening phases of the Grand Prix have happened, and everyone just needs to take a calm, collective look. We've got 17 laps to go, with the possibility of safety cars. Everyone just needs to take a wee breather and calm down. Viva La Merkel attacks back now on Mr. Giapelli. Viva La Merkel picked up a few podiums last season. Going to try do that again as here comes New Zealand Calm now down the inside before he even get to the corner. The slipstream, the DRS, just enough to get him ahead. And now Jovial Marity's got to try and come back at Calm if he can. And keep an eye on his mirrors because Machine Ireland, very racy, picked up 2 wins last season. Going to want to pick up some more this season. Wet Lemons round again into the wall. We just caught the last moments of that on board with Professor Lewis Craig's rejoined the session. So that's good for him. And now Professor Discolade comes into the pits. Dal Morris as well in the pits. Is there anyone up front looking to make a move? If it is, it's going to be Roy. And Roy closing the gap. And he needs to watch out behind him though, because there is a Red Bull lurking in the back in case there's any action that he can take advantage of. Machine Ireland though did win both of his races in wet conditions, so it's good to see him having the pace early on tonight, maybe being able to force a challenge and put his name in contention for the championship. You'd think though, championship, it's Jovial Manny, Casper, maybe someone like Machine Ireland, and then maybe kind of a dark horse in Court Gill, but Court obviously in 4th place, 3 seconds back, a poor qualifying by Court standards. He should be able to close the gap, maybe not by 3 seconds, but close it enough. That is a relatively decent charge, but here now comes Jovial Manny on the charge, number 56 in the Visa RB for the 2nd season running. Not enough straight line speed to make the move. The car ahead, the Williams seems to have the straight line speed on the Visa RB behind Matt Timmels and Aidan Griffins, the old enemies, back on F1 2019 and 2020, making some moves on each other, and it looks like Matt Timmels has won that battle. Chris and Dom Smith have had plenty of battles over the years as well, and Dom coming out on top in P12 at the moment. Not a great start to the season for Dom at the moment, but still plenty of time in this race. And there you go, here comes Arthur now down the inside of Kai, and he's got that move done. And Kai, who finished 2nd in the championship last season, not having a great start this season. Viva La Merkel and Luca Giapelli battling ahead as well. And Jovial Manny, does he have damage? He's down in 5th, what's happened there? He's gone off somewhere. Machine Ireland's jumped up into 2nd place, and Jovial Manny's dropped 2 places, 3 places. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but not the start that Jovial Manny would have wanted on lap number 5. He's now battling Viva La Merkel and Phil Bargewell, who's caught right up to the back of this battle as well. Here comes Phil now. Is he going to have a chance to make a move in the Alpine? No, no one looking to make a move. And calm now, there is the VSC out. That's why no one's making the move, as I didn't pay attention to the top left of my screen. But yeah, that's why no one was making a move there. Machine Ireland, 8 attempts back now on New Zealand Calm, and that battle might just have ended for the top spot. The gap is broken, the DRS now. These guys are both on the hards. Well, we have the VSC, we'll get the tyres up. It is hards for the top 2, so they're going long. And then from 3rd all the way down to 10th is the mediums. Aidan Griffin's on the hards as well. And then all the way down to Lewis are all on mediums. Everyone else has boxed. And there is a few guys on the mediums coming into the pits now. Maybe not risking that there's going to be another safety car later on in the race. But it is TGP1. You can never be too sure. This promotes the likes of Kai and Aidan, Dom and Chris all up the order. Still to stop, of course. The top 2 still to stop, but are on the hard combinator tires, so they're going long and hope their mediums towards the end will provide them enough speed and grip later on in the laps to get them back in front of the guys that will do the undercut if they're close enough. The gap, 5 seconds. Even with the tyre advantage, you'd imagine that would be a very hard gap to close on the undercut. Dom Smith is the 3rd driver to pick up a time penalty, and that might cost him in his battle with Chris Johnson for the final points paying positions. And I tell you what, Viva La Merkel looked very racy all of last season, looks very racy at the beginning of this season. The Alpine driver on the gearbox cover of Jovial Manny ahead, not close enough though to make a move, and Jovial Manny just surviving where he needs to for now. But yeah, that moment on lap number 5 has cost him a chance at the win, you'd imagine here. 6.4 back. He is losing a lot of time to the leaders, Roy, and he might just lose the podium place. It might not be the podium place after the pit stops, but it's the podium place on the road now. And New Zealand Cam has been passed by Machine Ireland. That was an 8/10 gap. How has he closed that gap? He's saved all of his battery. I'm absolutely shocked. I'm hoping that I've not missed that battle and Cam's let him through, because there's absolutely no way that you closed 8/10 on one straight. That is incredible straight line speed if he has. But 8/10 was the gap, and Machine Ireland got past Cam. We'll keep an eye on the battle though, just in case there is another move for the lead. And here comes Cam now, round the outside of the Red Bull driver, and retakes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix on lap number 7. These guys chopping and changing every few corners and straights, and these guys maybe just helping each other out. We're not going to battle too hard, we'll swap places, but at the moment we'll just keep getting our advantage to the third step of the podium, which is Giovanni broken, because they've gone from 5 seconds now to 7. We'll keep watching this battle. We'll go on board with the Red Bull out the final corner now. He's got the battery to his advantage, but he's not using it. He's using the DRS down the main straight, down the pit straight. He closes the gap, takes the DRS off, clips the curb probably more than he would have liked, but he's setting it up for this corner, turn number 3. This is when he wants to make the move down the inside. Cam tries to defend it, but has to yield, and down the inside goes the Red Bull driver, and that is textbook from the Irishman to get the move done and dusted. And we might be seeing Cam come back at him later in the lap. Phil Bardwell has set the fastest lap in the Grand Prix on the hards. Aidan Griffiths has overtaken Kai, and the mediums may be starting to wear off already. Aidan going long as well. He's one of the few drivers that decided to go that way, and it's paying off for Aidan at the moment. We'll see come lap 20 though if it has paid off fully. And Cam now back ahead of Machine Ireland there. We just got the end of it. Cam's gone into the wall, and that was all his undoing. And just like he did last season, made so many mistakes that cost him the chance at defending his championship. And now Viva La Miracle has passed Giovanni, who's done the exact same thing as Cam, and he's dropping down the order. The veterans of the league, the champions and race winners of the league, are crumbling under the pressure. No, I don't think there's a single rookie on the grid tonight, actually, now I'm thinking about it. I think it's all drivers that have been here before, and I'm pretty sure that is true. Aidan Griffiths, though, on the hard coming tire. When is he going to call it a day on those tires? He's getting away from Speed Kai. He's very far back from Viva La Miracle. He's 6 seconds back. And will he be able to close that gap? Dom Smith and Chris Johnson and Casper, they're overtaking Giovanni, but Giovanni is coming into the pits. So at this phase of the Grand Prix, we're almost at half distance. We'll get the pit stops up, and everyone from 10th to 17th has stopped. First to 9th yet to pit. We have had some radio back from the Williams garage. Wet Lemons had an incident with Dan and Casper earlier on in the Grand Prix, so that is why Wet Lemons lost time and is out of the Grand Prix. Not what Williams needed for the start of his season, but Wet Lemons needs to concentrate, get back in action and get back in the groove for Qatar in the next few moments. But right now it is all about TGP1 in Australia. ERT Casper and Chris Johnson swap places. Chris doesn't make it too hard for the defending champion, and his championship's not gotten off to a great move. And speaking of great moves, that's a great move by Court Gill and Lewis Craig, who's about to get a move down on him by Luca Giapelli. These two guys had great battles at TGP2, sorry, for the championship that neither of them were able to win, but Luca picks him off easily on the fresher rubber, and Luca has been very impressive on this opening round. And that second Ferrari, we say second Ferrari, we're just not really meaning to be disrespectful to Luca in any way, but it's Casper, seems to be a good omen for TGP2 drivers of that kind of second choice drivers. Chris Johnson had a good season last season in it. Luca getting that energy as well in round number 1. Can he translate that over 20 races? We'll find out. Court Gill now closing the gap on the kick-cyber of Chris Johnson. Chris doing what he can, but on those mediums yet to make a pit stop. It's just an inevitability that Court's going to get past, and here comes Court now. He's going to go round the outside. Oh, Chris shuts the door, and Chris saying, if you're going to get past me, you're going to have to go the long way round. And here comes Luca Giapelli now, maybe wanting a bit of the action for P6 if he can. He's going to get the move on Chris. Can he get the move on Court? This is going to be some move from Luca if he can make it. He can't quite. He goes very deep. He clips the curb, and it's not quite P6, but it definitely is P7. And he's closing the gap, and we have the first of the two in. Cam is in the pits. And that is a mighty fine pit stop from the Williams boys. The first pit stop that we've seen in 2025. Cam, lovely pit stop. Will get back out, should get back out just behind this battle. Probably not what Williams were wanting. Or no, he's got ahead of the battle, but just under 6 times per second. Wow, that was very important. He got that pit stop there and then, because Casper and Court now are battling behind for 4th and trying to get a move on so they can challenge Casper. No, sorry, Cam for the podium, and Casper has had a wee bit of a moment after making contact with Court Gill. He's now behind his teammate for 6th. It's been a very scrappy opening race for the defending champion, who now needs to repass his teammate again. And you'd imagine it shouldn't be too difficult if Casper can get back in the groove. Calm his tyres down a wee bit. They might just be up in temperature for the next few moments. But Casper now not in the position he would have wanted coming into season 43 and his first championship defence of his TGP crown. And there was another wee moment there from Casper as Machine Learning comes into the pits, and he had a 1.9 second gap to these guys, and with the contact you'd imagine he'd be okay. And Casper's round again. He's lost the back end, and now he's in danger of losing out to Phil and Arthur, and he has done. Casper, his opening round is not going the way he planned. Cam then will go on board. Is he going to be anywhere near Machine Ireland? It doesn't look like it. Machine Ireland is already round turn 2 as Cam gets to turn 1. And it looks like Machine Ireland, barring any issues, is on for a first win in the opening round of TGP1. Aidan Griffin's made another move on Speed Kai. He's now 5 times adrift. Aidan Griffin's making progress. We said it was a poor qualifying from Aidan, but he's proving us wrong. His strategy seemed to be the right call, and he's got some pace in that McLaren during the race. Maybe something we're going to see over the course of the season where Aidan's pace during the race can score him more points. Obviously, you don't win a race on Saturday, you win it on Sunday, and Aidan doing what he can to score points and help out Phil for the McLaren team. He's currently P9, he's got to keep going. He's not too far behind Roy, who's had some issues in this Grand Prix, and Aidan and Roy have had spicy moments in the past, not just in the bedroom or the GTA, but in Grand Prix. But he's watching behind, because here comes Keenan now, looking to make a move. Not quite got enough speed or road. He might have enough road here though. Aidan's going to go defensive early, but it's not going to be enough for Aidan, and he goes back into the slipstream. And Aidan calls it a day and lives to fight another day, and that other day might be very soon on the back straight. We'll go up front. Is anyone looking to make a move up front for the final podium places? Luca not quite close enough to make a move. Is Arthur going to get overtaken by Phil? Arthur goes very defensive very early, letting Phil know that that is his strategy, and Aidan didn't have the speed to get back ahead. But Vesser, and is it Dom Smith? Yep, I think Dom Smith's defending, not attacking, and Dom managing to hold on. He's 3 seconds adrift of Matt Tibbles. Not the opening night for the Manxman that he imagined when he woke up this morning before going to work. Phil, though, on the back of the other Haas, which is Bavesser. Phil in the Aston Martin. He won, of course, the opening round of season 42 last season. He picked up the win in Bahrain. Bit of a shock. I'm pretty sure he picked up the win at Abu Dhabi as well. He won the opening round and the final round. I think that's the first time that's happened in TGP1 history. And here comes Phil into P5. Lovely move. Easy as you like. Arthur had absolutely nothing to defend it with, and that was as easy as it gets. But as easy as it gets might be the move that Arthur's about to make on him again, and Arthur didn't quite have enough road, and the race, bar this battle, seems to be settling down now. The gaps after the pit stops, and everyone's had a few squirrely moments, has calmed down. Machine Island picks up the fastest lap, so he's picking up maximum points from Australia. The only battle on track at the moment is Arthur and Phil Bargewell for the 5th place and the last double-digit points on offer for tonight's Grand Prix, and Phil defends beautifully, and these guys have got to watch out because they all have penalties. Viva La Merkel's looking in the background. Jovial Marty, no time penalty, is in striking distance of picking up a few places. Phil's had a moment as well. He's spun round. I'm not sure if there was contact there between the Haas and the McLaren, but Phil did manage to keep it out the wall, I believe. I don't think he has damage on the car. I think it was just a spin, and that might allow Viva La Merkel right on the back of this battle as well. We'll go further forward because these guys are battling for higher place positions. Aidan Griffiths has made a move on Keenan for 8th place, and Viva La Merkel now going to try and make a move on Arthur. Not quite close enough. We'll see in the next few corners if he can get that move done and get himself up into P5. The other Finnish driver on the grid looks very racy tonight and wants to pick up as much points as he can. And it's a bit of a moment from Arthur on the back end, a bit of a tank slapper, and that is going to be a slam tank for Viva La Merkel up into 5th place. 8 seconds back on Luca, who's in 4th. Luca in P4. What a Grand Prix it's been for Luca, and the pace he's had is magnificent. He's not going to be getting a GP2 seat anytime soon in the near future. Luca in 4th, 12 points, exactly what he needed for his opening night. And the race now settling down again. It looks like only Kai is within striking distance. Dom Smith as well further back, might be close to making a move if he can. Maybe not in that part of the track though. We'll see. We'll stick with Kieran and see if he can make the move for now. Not quite close enough. It's actually Dom who's really close, but Dom is stuck in this battle. Lewis Craig and Dan Morris having a battle as well. Here comes Keenan though. Is he going to have enough straight line speed and DRS? Is it going to be a long enough straight for him to make a move? Not quite. We'll see though. In about 20 seconds it might just be, and it might even be just 5 seconds because Aiden has to go defensive. Not got enough to defend when this part of the track, but Aiden goes so deep into the corner. And he manages to hang on. He went so deep to try hang on to that place, and he did so with ease. It looked like it was never in doubt from Aiden there once he went late on the brakes and got the car stopped. It looked for a moment he was going to lose the place, but the brakes, you just seen how late he broke, and the confidence he has in the car to be able to stop there was magnificent. And Kai, not able to make the move that time round. Aiden with some absolutely beautiful defending at the moment, but he's in so much danger of Keenan behind. Keenan obviously won races last season. Aiden not playing the game as much as he would have in previous years, but he's hanging on to P8 and he's gained his 8th place, 8 places in this Grand Prix. So it's a great Grand Prix for Aiden, a great strategy call from McLaren as well. And now Luca is only 4 times back on Court Gill and might have a chance of a podium in TGP1 here in Australia. We've got 4.5 laps to go once Machine Island crosses the line. We have got plenty of action left in this Grand Prix to come. Gioviani now in the back of Arthur. Arthur's had a moment there and lost loads of time because the gap's only 2 tenths of a second. Roy doing everything he can to get back up the order. He looked like he was on for at least a podium, maybe not a win, but at least a podium or having a chance of the win. That's vanished into 7th place after a couple of moments. It might just be coming P6. Arthur goes really defensive, but it's probably going to be not now, but it's a matter of when, not if, and it looks like if it's not going to happen because it's going to be now, round the outside if he can. Not got enough straight line speed, Roy. Roy obviously notorious for the 0-0 wings and the good starts. Not got the straight line speed he usually has tonight, and everyone in the top 6, bar Machine Island, has a 3-second time penalty. I think the only person that's going to affect is Arthur to Roy if Roy can't get the move. Aiden picks up a time penalty now, and we're close to everyone on the grid picking up a penalty. Jovial Manny is closing that gap now. It's 2.5 tenths, less than 2.5 tenths of a second. He gets it all the way down to a tenth and a half, and it might just be the move that's happened about 15 times in this Grand Prix already. And there you go, it's easy as you like. And Jovial Manny gets past and is up into P6 now and can try and close that gap by 4 tenths of a second to Viva La Miracle to get in with his time penalty, which obviously won't be what Roy wants. He doesn't want to finish 5th off a time penalty, but he needs to finish as high as he possibly can, score as many points as he can to win the championship that he so desperately desires come the end of season 43, ladies and gentlemen. Arthur, though, not giving this up without a fight. I might just be trying to move into turn number 3 if he can. Not quite got enough to make the move stick. Aidan Griffin's next to follow. Not quite as well as anyone else close to making a move. It looks like Dan Morris, Lewis Craig, Chris Johnson having a wee battle at the back for P14 and 13, the last few points. So it might not seem important to you guys at home, 13th, 14th and 15th, but 13th and 14th for the last 2 points you receive in TGP1. These guys need the points over the course of the season to try and make their deals as second drivers lucrative to the guys in front. And there you go, Arthur back ahead of Jovial Manny now on the exit of turn 12. Roy with nothing to defend with. And it feels like we've been saying that all night. The DRS is just so powerful that it's allowing guys to catch up. Even 8 tenths of a second some of the guys caught. And it's just really incredible how much that seems to help the drivers, even on their laps in qualifying. Not quite close enough. It's 2 tenths. It might be close enough into turn 3 here in Melbourne. We're on the penultimate lap on the Grand Prix now that Machine Island started 19 of 20. So 1.5 to go until we crown the 43rd opening round winner of TGP1. That is incredible. They've been racing on Formula 1 games since F1 2010. It's now F1 24 and 2025. And Machine Ireland, barring any disasters, is coasting his way to an opening round victory here at Melbourne Albert Park and could be the 43rd opening round winner. But it's all about P6 on this current time because Jovial Manny not quite got enough to take Arthur for P6, and it might need to be a last lap gasp from Jovial Manny if he can somehow pick up 5th. 6th after all his disasters in the opening laps and his spin at lap 12 later on before the section. Luca has spun or been taken out, and Viva La Miracle is up into 4th, and that's going to cost Luca a chance. And it's a great result anyway, P5. You've got to be honest, Luca has deserved that with all the effort and stuff he's put in over the last few months and years. He's done a great job, and to be P5, that's exactly what he would have wished for. Aidan's been repassed by Kieran, and that has allowed Kieran back up into 8th, and Aidan on the last lap of the Grand Prix is going to give it absolutely everything to try and get back ahead of the Cyber. And if there's one thing Aidan likes less than AWS, it is the green kick Cyber. Can he get back ahead? But it doesn't matter about this battle for the moment. We're going to watch as the man that has dominated the race from the moment Jovial Manny made a mistake. He was qualified 3rd. He got into the lead when it mattered most, and he never looked back. He's rounding the final few corners now for the first time in 2025. And for the 43rd time in TGP1, we have an opening race round winner. Machine Ireland will win the Australian Grand Prix eventually as he slows down. Cam is going to cross the line in 2nd. Court Gill is going to pick up a podium after starting in 8th. Viva La Miracle is going to get a solid P4. Mr. Giapelli, your driver of the day at Melbourne, picks up 5th. We'll wait and see what his issues were in the final lap. Jovial Manny steals it at the death though. Speed Kai jumps into 7th. Arthur goes 8th. Aidan Griffin's 9th. Casper 11th as Dom Smith gets 10th. It's Casper 11th. Bevesser in 12th. Dan Morris was 13th, 12th on the road, but Lewis Craig picked it up. Bevesser picked up 13th. Chris Johnson picked up 14th. Dan Morris's penalties cost him a chance at a point. Phil Bardwell, in the second half of that race, we didn't really talk much about him, but he's had a disaster because he's down to 16th, 13 seconds behind Dan. And Matt Tibble's coming round the final couple of corners now to round out the 17 classified finishers. And well, ladies and gentlemen, that is your championship order. After round number one, it's just the race results. We're going to go to Qatar. It's one-shot qualifying with a 25% race. I'm going to go have a wee drink once the podium celebrations are done. But I hope you enjoyed the Australian Grand Prix. It was action-packed. I'm sorry for any coughing or dodgy sounds coming out of my mouth. I am choked with a cold, and I'm trying my best to commentate here on my own with a dodgy throat. And that is some dance and moves that looked like me on New Year's Eve in the Caledonian. On the 31st, getting absolutely drunk, celebrating the new year, and Mr. Machine Island celebrating the new year the same way he ended last year with a couple of wins in TGP1. He's picked up another victory here, the Red Bull driver, looking to stake his claim for the championship this season. One that we do expect to win a few races. We'll see his consistency and finishes over the qualifying and the race is to see if he can pick up a championship win. He almost won it a few years ago. Wasn't quite to be when New Zealand Cam won the championship either for him. Is it the year of Shea in 2025 and the final season of TGP1? We're not getting the order of the race. It just as well as said it when it came up. It's just putting me back into the lobby. So I will see you in Qatar for qualifying. So we are back here in TGP1 for round number 2. It's the Qatar Grand Prix one-shot qualifying. Put your setups on, drivers, otherwise it's your own fault. You should know by now. We've got a 25% race coming your way. It's one-shot quali. We'll see if Cam can get his next pole in a row. I give my voice a wee break, had a wee drink, allowed us all to get a bit of relaxing moments after that exciting race in TGP1 at Australia. The opening round, Machine Ireland picked up the win and maximum points. We'll see who we're going to go on board with. We'll go on board with Jovial Manny. Watch him on his lap of Qatar. He's currently leading the way on the start finish it, but we'll see come the end of the lap, will he be able to put it on pole position? Around turn 1 he goes, takes a wee bit of the curve, doesn't take any on the exit of turns 2 now, and this is where you just want to be smooth. Use all the track you can, avoid the curves as much as you possibly can. You don't want to get spun into the gravel at any point through the first sector, and it's looking pretty smooth but not very quick in terms of the timesheets as he jumps up into second for the time being. Casper and Phil Bardwell up then as well, challenging for the pole position. And now double right-hander now for Roy. He's going very quick and he's looking so jumpy at the moment. Everyone just seems to be so similarly paced. He's first, he's second, then he's down into 7th place, and he's not. But it's not like he's battling guys that are fools. These guys are very quick. The top 6 in TGP1, the fastest of the fastest. And Roy, we've been on board with him, feeling the pressure of the commentator's curse. Usually when we go on board with drivers, they don't do very well in qualifying, especially last season. Roy in 6th. He was on the front row last time out. Can he somehow, in the final moments, stick it on the front row again here in Qatar? It might just be enough for P3, and it is only going to be P3. Your race winner last time out, Machine Ireland, picks up pole position. And Gioviamani only manages 3rd. Casper picks up P2, so it's the same top 3, just shuffled. It's Machine Ireland on pole position. He has a much bigger gap than Cam did last time out because Casper is in P2. Gioviamani P3. Phil is also on the 2nd row of the grid. Cam and Court on the 3rd row of the grid. Wet Lemons and Lewis Craig much improved, 7th and 8th. Viva La America, Dom Smith 9th and 10th. Aidan improving in 11th. Chris Johnson and Mr. Giapelli 12th and 13th. Arthur and Kai 14th and 15th. Dan Morris 16th. Matt Tibble 17th and Bevesser in 18th. The bottom 3 all disqualified from qualifying. Kieran didn't set a lap time also. So that is your order from one-shot qualifying. The first one-shot qualifying of the season. We've got another 9 to go, so plenty of time for the guys to be getting used to that again as we've had a bit of a break with the guys. Now, going to get their strategies in order, get the fuel loads right, especially around Qatar. You need to get the fuel management right and get it down to a T, because if you get that wrong, you're going to be struggling on those remaining laps and maybe put into low fuel mode, which no driver wants, coming from me first hand. We've got Baza in the comment section below saying welcome back to 2025. Welcome Baza to the commentary. Let us know your thoughts on who's going to be on the podium. We can't wait to see Baza racing in 2025 again with TGP later on in the year. But the guys just getting their final preparations in order. Arthur's rejoined the session. Hopefully he'll make the start of the race if the game will let him in the car. We hope it will. But other than that, I think we're ready to go. We're going to see 2-time champion Jack Hickman in Miami. But it's all about Qatar right now. It's Casper v Machine Ireland off the line. And away we go in Qatar. Will it be a bad start for Machine Ireland? Everyone seems to have had a dodgy start, because here comes Gioviamani on the back of Casper now, surely round the outside where George and Lewis made the contact. These guys don't make the contact quite there, but they gave each other absolutely no room, or just about enough room, depending on who you ask the question to. And Gioviamani now needs to get his head down and get back, and in the opening moments of this race, Lewis Craig is battling Court Gill. I was about to say it was a lot safer than last time, but Arthur is out of the session, and I just think he's DNF'd on the track. I don't think He's had an accident. Aidan Griffin's picking up places. He was in 12th. He's up into 9th, so a good start from Aidan. Dom's hanging on to 10th from this fellow marksman, Luca. But Luca's going to try and make the move. And Mr. Giabelli's up into P10 now. Dom having to yield. The two marksmen battling. And they're going to try and catch the Scotsman up ahead as well. Cam got ahead of Phil there. We're watching that battle now, and Cam round the outside on the soft tyres makes that move stick, and that's easy as you like from the season 40 champion. He's going to try and keep going and get his head in contention for a win here. But the top 4, even the top 6 you could say, all TGP1 veterans, most of them champions, all of them race winners. And then you've got the likes of Wet Lemons, who's a very talented driver in his own right. You've got a champion in TGP2 in Lewis Craig. And here comes Cam now, down the inside of Jovial Manny if he can. And he gets it done before the braking zone. What a move that is from Cam. He's absolutely flying in the opening moments and is on the back of the Ferrari of Casper now. And these guys looking to renew their rivalry they've had over the past. And can Cam mount a challenge to this championship? He is only a reserve, but like we said, the longer good performances go, the more chance you have to get in the car. That's what Viva Lamerco did. Started as a reserve, he got in the McLaren after a few weeks and did a fantastic job for the Papaya. Wasn't able to hang on to his seat. Alpine, they paid the big bucks for him to come over to the French team. Aidan Griffins and Phil Blarge lining up there, and that's what allowed them to old enemies to pick up the McLaren seats. Lewis Craig and Aidan Griffins, they're going to be battling later on though. Two men that have a fierce rivalry, great respect, but fierce rivalry. They just want to beat each other. Aidan Griffins believing he is much more talented than his fellow Scotsman. Lewis Craig got something to say about that though if he can on the road tonight. Kieran though, someone that we'd expect to be higher up, down in 11th, not really close to Luca, and trying to hang on from Dom. He might have just passed Dom actually, and that is why he's so far back. But here comes New Zealand Cam now on the back of Casper, and actually he's side by side. He's set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We're just catching this at the perfect time. He's going to go down the inside, and he's not going to be able to squeeze Casper out like Casper was able to do to Roy, and that is going to allow Casper to hang on to position, and he's forced Cam off, and Cam has to yield there. And I think Casper did have every right to not push Cam off, but take the racing line. Cam maybe should have yielded a bit earlier, but yielded just in time to cost him any crazy time in the battle of the pack. And now the race settles down a wee bit, and we'll get going again after this kind of sector. Arthur DNF from the session, but his car's still going, so that's frustrating for him. Lewis Craig picks up the first penalty on lap number 3. Lewis Craig not what he needed for his race, going on to the last laps. That's going to cost him a few places if he can't break free from everybody. And Cam, who was flying, still is flying, not able to make a move at the moment, but you'd imagine in the next straight, down the back straight, pit straight, with a DRS, the Williams should be able to get past the Ferrari. Machine Ireland is ahead by about 7.5 tenths, so that might allow Casper to just hang on with the DRS, and I think it is, because look how quickly Casper is catching Machine Ireland. He's not close enough to make a move into turn 1, but he's close enough to close that gap all the way to just over 1/10 of a second. And I tell you what, if he can get that gap to 6 tenths, not 7.5, Casper's going to be leading the Qatar Grand Prix. And well, Phil Bardwell is getting awfully close to the back of Jovial Manny. Maybe Phil is looking to try sneak up the order and pick up a podium if he can tonight. Phil doing what he can to kind of replicate his form of last season. He was in great form last season for majority of the season, and he's looking to transfer that from Aston to McLaren, and he's getting off to a good start in Qatar, not so much in Melbourne. Dan Morris has DNF'd and left the session, so that is the end of his opening night in TGP1 season 43. But the race just seems to have calmed down now. It seems to be the only time we're getting any moves is into turn number 1, so we'll keep an eye on things and see if anyone's looking close to making a move. Cam picks up a penalty, and the mistakes we were talking about in the past are creeping into his game again on this game this season. It's just not going his way. He's got the pace. He just doesn't have the consistency or the discipline to get the moves done. And here comes Court Gill on the back of Phil Bartle round the outside. But just like in the past move between Casper and Cam, there isn't enough room to make the move around the outside, and Phil hangs on for now. This wee train, though, for the lead of the Grand Prix, going all the way back to Lewis Craig, who has a penalty, but the top 9, you could say, have a relative chance of scoring, maybe not the win, but at least a podium or some solid points. Luca Giappelli, 1.6 back on Lewis. Doesn't have to worry because the time penalty Lewis Craig has at the moment. But Lewis Craig is doing a good job of hanging on to Aidan Griffiths here. The gap's about 5/10 of a second. We'll come back to that battle later on if it develops, but the battle happening right now is Casper, Machine Ireland, Red Bull, Ferrari, and it's Casper v Machine Ireland. What can they do on the start-finish straight? Cam has gone very deep around that corner. Cam's losing his confidence a wee bit. Maybe his tyres have gone off, and you can see there, yeah, the softs. He's calling it a day, and in the pits for the undercut. Casper, though, is so close this time, and here comes the Ferrari down the inside. He squeezes to the wall, and that is going to be a slam dunk move and into the lead of the Qatar Grand Prix. It's the first time we've had a lead change here, and it's on lap 6. The defending champion leads, but picks up a time penalty on the exit of turn 2, and that might just allow Machine Ireland to have a wee moment and think, well, I don't need to make the move now. I just need to hang on to 3 seconds. He'll want to make the move for pride and honour. We know what these guys are like, even ourselves at racing. If you've ever raced, you want to make the move on the track. You don't want to make the win or get the position on penalties. If you need to, you'll do it, but you'd rather get the move done and dusted on the track. And still plenty of time. 8 laps to go, 7.5 and a bit. The race is calming down at the moment, bar the lead change just there. And well, as the pit stops are coming, the guys are on the mediums. We've seen how long the softs last before the pace goes off. We'll be expecting these guys to come in lap 8, lap 9, unless someone, maybe a Phil or a Court, fancy the undercut on the guys ahead and think it's worth it to try the undercut. Have a lap older tyres, but get ahead and get track position. And we say this all the time, track position is king, and that is exactly what Machine Ireland thinks, because he's just taken the lead of the Grand Prix back, and that is exactly what he wanted. And track position is king for him because he leads the way and can deal with his strategy when he feels necessary now. And if he can't get a move on, he needs to try his best. Matt Tibbles and Kira Kai battling away there. He looks like Matt Tibbles has won out in that squiggle, as Luca Giappelli is right on the back as well, and Vivolo Merkel as well. Close in on that action. Dom Smith a bit far back, but they're doing what he can to close the gap. And Luca's gone very deep there, almost coming into the back of the side ahead. And look at this, Vivolo Merkel going to try it, and Luca, wisdom in his age, Luca manages to push him wide and hang on to the place. It was beautiful defending from Luca. It looked for certain he was going to lose that place, but Luca placed the car absolutely beautifully and hangs on. Aidan Griffiths and Lewis Craig, they're stalemating at their gap at the moment of 5.5 tenths. Aidan losing time to the top 5 as well. But yeah, who's going to be the first man in? Who's going to be the first man to go, right, let's box, go on to the softs to the end, take the risk and hope that you can hang on to the tyres, and the outlap will provide you with track position enough so that the DRS, a bit of the battery, tyre wear won't come into it. No one at the moment. It is lap 8 now we're starting. Can Casper take a lead of the Grand Prix? No, he can. So we're coming through lap 8 now, and I imagine it'll either be this lap. If it's not this lap, definitely the next lap we see someone make a move and try get in the pits for the undercut. We'll see if any of the top 5 decide next time round. Is Lewis Craig closing the gap to Aidan? Yes, he is. It's about 3.5 tenths now. Aidan, though, no penalty, so maybe not stressing too much from Lewis behind. Both on the mediums, probably going to pit on the same lap because Lewis has stayed out so long. but we'll see later on in the Grand Prix. Luca and Viva La Merkel having a wee bit of love banging in the midfield, and it is Viva La Merkel that wins the love tapping scenario for now. Luca, though, is one for a Cadel. He'll be coming back at that, wanting P9 back in the next few moments. We'll see though. Is anyone going to come in? We're coming up to the third sector now, to the pit lane in the next few seconds. We'll see who's going to box. We've not got anyone down in the pit lane tonight, so it's all who's going to come in. We'll see the pit lane. It's a very dodgy pit lane here at Qatar, kind of like France before they changed it. And the top 3 come in, and the top 4 of the top 5 come in. The only man that stays out is Phil Bardwell. Maybe McLaren told him, do what the others don't, and Phil trying something different. He's going to lose track position, he's going to lose a bit of time, but the 1 lap fresher rubber might allow him to make that move, and that's easy to catch someone. It's not so easy to pass, as Lewis Craig's found out. He caught Aiden, couldn't pass him, and now Aiden's boxed. So Lewis needs the lap of his life if he's got any chance of getting out ahead of Aiden. I don't think that's something that's going to be possible. And well, Calm now is out ahead of Machine Ireland, but has relatively older tyres, and on this soft, you'd imagine Machine Ireland should sail past Calm. Calm's done a good job though. He's going to be battling these guys for the podium, 4th and 5th. He's got a great chance of some solid points here, New Zealand Calm. And well, Machine Ireland just needs to get his move done when he can, really. Not force it. He's got a penalty. Pick your moment and take it, and then just hope that he can hold up Casper a wee bit in your battle as well for the lead of the Grand Prix. Well, we'd imagine Phil is going to come into the pits this time around. We'll watch him. Yeah, he's coming in. He's the last of the top 5 pre-pit stops to box. Lewis Craig to box. Yep, Viva La Merkel to box. And Lewis Craig's picked up a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And, well, you can hear the disappointment in my voice, but Lewis Craig, he had a great debut season, a great rookie season in TGP1. It dipped in form in Season 2, and it looks like that dip in form is going to last in Season 3 for him. He needs to figure a way out of that hole. But someone that is not in the hole anymore is Machine Ireland. He's back in the lead of the Grand Prix, but it might only be for a few moments, because Casper's looking racy, going to try and make him, if not got enough speed or grip at that part of the track. And well, he's closed the gap to 2.5 times as they both got past Cam. Now the battle for the lead with 5 laps to go is fully in swing. Who's going to come out on top at Qatar here? Is it going to be 2 wins on opening night for Machine Ireland and the best possible start to a championship? Or is the championship defender, the man that won the title last season, is he going to be able to get his defence off to a relatively good start? With a win, it wasn't great at Melbourne, but a win would get him back on track to becoming a 2-time TCP2 champion and 2-in-a-row champion. If he can get over the season, he's got a lot of battery. He's practically got a full battery. Machine Ireland's got half of his battery, so Machine Ireland isn't going to be totally defenceless, but Machine Ireland is going to have to pick and choose his moments on when to use it, and maybe using it to get back past Casper will be the strategy he goes for. But I'm in the box, he's in the cockpit. We'll see what he does. He's the man that wins the Grand Prix. I'm not paid to win Grand Prix, I'm paid to talk about them. And he sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, Machine Ireland. Jovial Manny getting past Cam there in the background as well. Cam's tyres, a good call, but they're just not surviving till the end of the race here, and it's just not quick enough. You'll imagine Court will at least get past. Phil might need to pick up the pace a wee bitty, but should be able to mount a challenge. And Cam, Casper has a penalty as well. Phil has a penalty. So yeah, Jovial Manny should be on for second here, and well, even if Machine Ireland finishes second on the road, it should be a safe victory for him unless there is any mistakes later on, but we don't want that to happen. We want everyone to have the best chance at winning and giving the drivers everything they need to succeed, and that is what the teams are doing this season. Giving the drivers the best possible cars, the best engines, the best aerodynamics to try and win the Grand Prix. And Machine Ireland is showing why Red Bull in real life and in the game this season in TGP1 are the team to beat. The car is just so good. The driver is so good. Machine Ireland picked up 2 wins the whole of last season, both in wet conditions. People underestimated him last season as well because of that. But coming into this season, he seems to have been practicing because he's got so much pace and he's winning here at Qatar. He won in Australia. He's going to lose out the lead of the Grand Prix, you'd imagine, here, unless he can pull a rabbit out the hat. It should be fairly easy for Casper. He's not using any of the battery, which is why he's not making the move. And well, Casper may be feeling that he's doing some Spain tactics of last season where Kai was behind Casper for the whole race, and on the last lap used all of his battery, sailed past, and Casper had nothing to defend with. Maybe the mind games coming back into play. By the end of the day, the penalty is going to cost him any chance of the win, but maybe just a win on the road for Casper might give him some confidence going into next week, next Tuesday. A week today, 7:10. Make sure you're tuned in. I'll be back. We'll see if CJH is back. It might just be me in the box again by myself, but one of us will be here to commentate the action in the next 2 rounds. I'll let you know the next 2 rounds once this race comes to the conclusion and the classified results are on the screen, because right now the top 6 are all separated by less than 0.5 of a second. They're so close together you could cover them with a blanket. Aidan's favourite saying in the whole of commentary live world on any sport, but it's so close. And yes, there's penalties, but we don't know who's going to finish on the road first. We don't know who's going to win. Jovial Manny and Cork could still mount a challenge and win this Grand Prix. Jovial Manny has been known to pick up the pieces when there's been action further forward, but here comes Casper now. Jovial Manny as well is looking a wee bit racy. Machine Ireland goes wide, takes a wider line that allows him to hang on, and on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix we have got time to see who's going to win this race. Mark Tibos picked up a penalty overtaking Aidan, which means it doesn't really matter that he's overtaking Aidan. Lewis is right on Aidan's chuff. He's not been able to deal with Aidan, and Aidan picks up a time penalty now, so that is all for position. So Aidan is going to spend his last lap and a half sweating. He's got to get past Tibos. He's got to hang on from Lewis, and Lewis Craig has got a chance of picking up 7th place here. He's got a wonderful opportunity of picking up solid points, and Lewis needs to get the foot down and show everyone why he wants to be respected in the division if he can. Aidan Griffin's going to want that same respect from Matt Tibos. They've had battles for wins in the past on 2020 and 2019. They're battling for 7th at the moment. Obviously, the older you get, the more that edginess and that speed disappears. And Aidan won't like me saying that, but we are getting older these days, and he just needs to hang on to the glory days if he can, because glory days in P8 are not where it's at. But he's hanging on to Lewis Craig at the moment. Lewis doesn't look like he's going to be able to make the move. But we'll go back in front. This is probably the last chance for Casper now. The last chance for Jovial Manny to make a move and pick up places. If Roy wants to win this race, he needs to make a move now. Machine Ireland doesn't defend it too much because he knows Casper's got the penalty. He just needs to defend from Roy and Court Gill, and that should be the win for Machine Ireland now. There doesn't not many overtaking places as long as he doesn't get a time penalty. Aidan Griffiths and Matt Tibos are side by side battling as well for P7. Aidan not quite got enough in the tank, and Lewis Craig's right in the back of this battle as well. Going to take a moment if he can later on. We'll see later on come the end of the lap if they can make a move. Court Gill 2 attempts back now on Jovial Manny. These guys are going to get the podium because of Casper's penalty. But it looks like Machine Ireland's going to win the race. Jovial Manny looks secure for second. And well, can Court somehow sneak a second place or maybe a victory? The last kind of opportunity is going to be into the final corner. And well, it's not really a chance. That's like a minimum chance at best. But they're so close. They're all separated by less than 1/10 of a second on the final lap of the Qatar Grand Prix. Jovial Manny's gone deep into the corner. We're going to go on board with Court Gill because he's going round the outside and he's going to have to yield that place. Casper's going to cross the line first, but Machine Ireland makes it 2 in a row in Qatar on opening night. His maximum points for the Red Bull driver. He picked up fastest lap again, I believe. Jovial Manny picked up P2. and that allowed him. Court Gill picked up the final step of the podium here. Casper hangs on for 4th, Cam 5th, Phil Bargewell's in 6th, Viva Lamerco in 7th, Matt Tibbles makes it 8th, and a 7th and 8th finish for Alpine. Aaron Griffiths comes home in 9th, Kai picks up 10th, Mr. Chiappelli in 11th, Wet Lemons 12th, Dom Smith in 13th. Lewis Craig finished 14th there. He had the time penalty for the pit lane. I forgot about that. So that's disappointing for Lewis. He was never on for a good result there. 14th, 1 point tonight. Not what he would have wanted. Chris Johnson in 15th, missed out on a point. He needs to get back down into the sim and hope for a better result next time. And I believe it was Bevesser that finished 16th and also didn't score a point. But that has been your action from Australia and Qatar. And well, Matt Peebles picked up driver of the day, but I have to tell you, Machine Ireland at Qatar was just dominant, and he was so great, and he just managed to pick his moments, and he picks up 2 wins, 2 fastest laps, a pole position, a fantastic start to the season for the Irishman, and he's going to be leading the way come next week when we head back to TTB1 action. It's going to be 7:10. Make sure you check it out. I'm going to be here commentating. We're going to check the races before we head off as the podium celebrations. Red Bull picking up good points for them. He's going to be disappointed with his teammate Lewis not picking up points in the constructors to help him out, but over the course of the season you'll imagine Lewis will be able to pick up that points and get back in the order. But that is your order. We ran through it already. I won't say it again for my voice. I'll go through it on the stream just so you can see 2 DNFs and Dan and Arthur, and we'll see what the calendar is for the remainder of the season. It is Netherlands and Great Britain, so that is your action for next week. On the 14th of January, and then after that, Miami and Imola on the 21st. Jack Hickman, 2-time TGB1 champion, will be back for Miami, so you've got that to look forward to, ladies and gentlemen. But that's it from me. Not much to talk about as it's just myself. We've not got anyone lined up for interviews on opening night. Interviews going to come back next week. We'll see who has a good result, try and get them in for a few words. But Machine Ireland on opening night dominated start to finish. Casper's defence off to a shaky start, and Lewis Craig, Dom Smith, that battle maybe coming back this season as Dom not at the order like he was last time. Can Gioviamanti get back on track in his title charge to hopefully win the championship for Visa RB? Are all questions we're going to be answering over the next 9 weeks, and we've got a very happy Irishman in the comment section, so congratulations to him. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We thank Dom again for another season coming up, but I've been Jack Craig 28. This has been TGB1, and we'll see you on PS4.